Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, a show celebrating and questioning one of the most beloved entertainment companies in the world through honest, passionate, and clear-eyed Disney discussions. I'm Jeff DePauli, your entertainment-obsessed host with rose-colored glasses removed. Today on the show, we have the House of Mouse headlines brought to you by laughingplace.com, your up-to-date resource for the latest Disney news every day of the week. This episode is being released on June 29th, 2022, and here's what's been going on in the world of Disney recently. Holiday favorites returning to the Disney parks, a super pricey around-the-world Disney trip, good news and bad news for Disney Cruise Line's latest ship, and more.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
Starting off with the good PR/face-saving section of the news, Disney has announced a special streaming event in honor of LGBTQIA+ Pride Month. Say It With Pride, Disney Plus Celebrates Pride 365 will take place Thursday, June 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. However, rather than streaming on Disney Plus itself, it'll be available to view on the service's YouTube and Facebook accounts. Through song and storytelling, the second annual iteration of Disney Plus's Pride variety show aims to uplift voices from the community to discuss their journeys and look forward to a future that embodies diversity and unity with pride. Appearing talent include Alan Menken, Alex Newell, Jessica Darrow, Nina West, and many more. So be sure to tune in to Say It With Pride on June 30th. With the U.S. Supreme Court ruling to strike down Roe v. Wade this past week, the Walt Disney Company recently reiterated some of its policies in a letter to employees. Notably, Disney will continue to provide travel benefits to all employees needing medical care that is not available in their location. This not only includes pregnancy-related decisions, but also cancer treatments, transplants, and more. In the statement penned by Chief Human Resources Officer Paul Richardson and Vice President of Enterprise Benefits and Wellbeing Pascal Thomas, they wrote, "Please know that our company remains committed to removing barriers and providing comprehensive access to quality and affordable care for all of our employees, cast members, and their families, including family planning and reproductive care, no matter where they live." Adding, Disney will continue to prioritize the health, safety, and well-being of our team members and their families. As the Disney Wish prepares for its maiden voyage, Disney Cruise Line has now officially announced the ship's godmother. Rather, breaking with maritime tradition, the Wish will instead have godchildren. Specifically, Disney has revealed that Make-A-Wish children, including past, present, and future Wish recipients, will be honored as godchildren of the new ship. Furthermore, some of the Make-A-Wish godchildren will be playing a very special role in the christening of the Disney Wish this week. Speaking of the Disney Wish and in other news, the ship arrived at its new home port early in the morning of June 20th after making the trek across the Atlantic. Unfortunately, while seaworthy, it doesn't seem as though the ship was quite ready to welcome guests upon arrival, as 2 test sailings were cancelled. Nevertheless, as of this recording, the ship's christening is still set for June 29th, with the official maiden voyage slated for July 14th. Disney Vacation Club members are just days away from the return of one of their exclusive member benefits as the Top of the World Lounge at Bay Lake Tower reopens on July 11th. Though, the lounge might look a bit different than what members remember. Thanks to a backstory that reveals that Disney villains briefly settled in while the lounge was closed, the lounge will now add the subtitle, A Villain's Lair. In addition to spotting some portraits and props left behind by the baddies, guests will also encounter some new menu items, including the Churna board, brilliant, a board of meats and cheeses, herb-roasted Unfortunate Soul shrimp, and more. Guests over 21 will also enjoy specialty cocktails such as The Other Side, The Underworld, and Mirror Mirror Moonshine. For more information on the Top of the World Lounge, A Villain's Lair, members can visit DisneyVacationClub.com. It's an exciting time at Walt Disney World as several character experiences have been announced to return across the resort, including the reopening of Star Wars Launch Bay at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Guests will once again have the opportunity to come face-to-face with Chewbacca, BB-8, and Darth Vader starting July 17th. Over at Magic Kingdom, Minnie Mouse will join Mickey Mouse at the Town Square Theater on July 6th. Also on July 6th, Chippendale's Campfire Sing-Along will return to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Then, on July 10th, Peter Pan and Snow White will appear at Magic Kingdom to meet and greet with guests once again. And while no other specific dates have been set, Disney also promises the return of other characters in the coming months, including Aladdin, Jasmine, Merida, Pooh, Tigger, and Storybook Circus pals like the Great Goofini in Pete's Silly Sideshow. Plus, at Toy Story Land, beloved Toy Story characters will reappear, along with Donald Duck and friends rejoining Donald's Dino Bash in Dinoland USA at Disney's Animal Kingdom. In other words, character fans will soon be able to get their fill as the parks slowly get back to something resembling normal. Part of the fantastical and magical family Madrigal has come to Walt Disney World as Mirabel from Disney's Encanto has arrived in the Magic Kingdom. Mirabel has now joined the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade, where she appears alongside other Disney favorites such as Miguel from Coco, Nick and Judy from Zootopia, Max Goof, Moana, and more. The Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade makes its way through Magic Kingdom multiple times each day, so guests will have several opportunities to see Miss Mirabel for themselves. With Pixar's Lightyear now in theaters, a new meet and greet has landed at the Disneyland Resort. Billed as Captain Buzz Lightyear in the Disneyland app, this new face character is now appearing in Tomorrowland. Since Buzz is a face character, guests can also interact with the captain and ask him about his various adventures. Currently, it's unclear how long this version of Buzz will be appearing or if he'll be making his way to other Disney parks around the world. Over at Disney California Adventure, Shangqi has returned to Avengers Campus. This time around, the character has donned his trademark hero suit and wields power from the 10 rings. Previously, Shang-Chi briefly appeared in the land, albeit during the height of the park's COVID restrictions, before characters would roam the area freely. Once again, it just goes to show that you never know who you might run into while wandering Avengers Campus. Last week, the 2022 All-American College Band made its debut at Disneyland Park. This marked a return of the annual program after a pause that canceled the tradition in 2020 and 2021. Guests typically find the band performing at various spots up and down Main Street, USA in the evening hours. Be sure to catch this year's All-American College Band before the summer's through. With the 2022 D23 Expo drawing nearer, the official Disney fan club has revealed some of the exclusive merchandise locations that will occupy the show floor. These include the D23 Expo Marketplace, Mickey's of Glendale Main Store, and the Mickey's of Glendale Pin Store. However, those hoping to shop at these spots will want to download the Disneyland Resort mobile app first. Why? Well, these 3 locations will all utilize the resort's virtual queue system that attendees can join by scanning a QR code at each store's entrance. Additionally, guests can save time with merchandise mobile checkout, which will be available to pay for items through the app. Finally, to shop select limited edition items, guests can use the online reservation system Store Pass prior to the start of D23 Expo. More details on how to get a Store Pass reservation will be announced later this summer. The long-planned live-action remake of Disney's animated film Hercules seems to be moving forward. What's more, Aladdin director Guy Ritchie is now reportedly attached to helm the film, which will be produced by the Russo brothers' company AGBO. The studio is also said to be in the process of hiring writers after Dave Callahan wrote a first draft. No release date or other info for Hercules is available just yet, but stay tuned. Following runs in New York and Chicago, Winnie the Pooh, the new musical stage adaptation, will be hitting the road and coming to a city near you. Starting this fall, the show will set off on a nationwide tour that kicks off in Irving, Texas, and currently concludes in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The show, which utilizes life-size puppets to tell its story, features Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, Piglet, Eeyore, Tigger, Kanga, Roo, Rabbit, and Owl, along with Sherman Brothers classic tunes and songs by A.A. Milne. For tour dates and ticket info, visit WinnieThePoohShow.com. And now it's time to bring in Kyle Burbank from LaughingPlace.com. Hello, Kyle.
Hello, Jeffrey.
How's it going, Kyle?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Pretty good. There is so much news. We're going to jump right into it. This first one is a biggie because Adventures by Disney recently revealed a new adventure that had only 75 spots available on a private jet. This adventure sees guests embark on a bucket list adventure that spans 24 days and covers 6 countries that include all 12 uniquely magical Disney theme parks worldwide, as well as 3 iconic landmarks, the Taj Mahal, Pyramids of Giza. Am I saying that right?
I think it's Giza.
Giza, there we go. And the Eiffel Tower. And then throughout the trip, they'll stay in world-class accommodations, they better for the price tag, including the rare opportunity to be a guest at Summit Skywalker Ranch. The price tag, $109,995 starting price per person based on double occupancy. Holy frickin' moly.
Yeah, this was an interesting one when we saw it pop up on the site and like looking at all that it entailed. I will say I appreciate that they put in some like real world stuff with all of the Disney parks, because that's the big thing is you're going to go to every Disney park in the world. But first of all, people can take off 24 days. Like I can't imagine taking off 24 days.
Foreigners certainly can. Oh my God, my European friends that come to America, they're here for like a month.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're completely screwed up, this country, as far as work-life balance is concerned. Like, 2 weeks of vacation time, frankly, is animalistic. Like, it's insane, the small amount of vacation time that Americans get. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a lot of this... I mean, frankly, if you're uber wealthy, you can probably get the 24 days. But, I mean, this is... anybody in foreign countries, or a lot of foreign countries, can get that time if they wanted. They just need to find, 110 grand. So basically a down payment on a house, or even a house in some states.
Or 120 if you're going by yourself, because like you said, that was based on double occupancy. So I think without that, it added another several thousand. But obviously this includes all of your meals. So like 22 breakfasts and 23 lunches or something and 24 dinners. And then also it's a 757 with only 75 people on it. Like it's kind of crazy to think about that few amount of people on a plane like this. But yeah, it sold out. 75 people. It didn't even make it till general. They had different tiers. So like if you've been on 3 or more Adventures by Disney, I think was the first one. And then any Adventures by Disney, and then Golden Oak, and then it was going to be open to the public, and it didn't get that far.
That is unbelievable. I mean, 75 people in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of people, so it's not that surprising, but it's just one of those things to me that I'm like, if you wanted to do this, you could do it a hell of a lot cheaper. It just feels like a bragging rights situation.
Yeah, I mean, what's also interesting to me, though, is that this is set for next July, and a huge part of me is like, okay, well, it's going to get pushed back, right? Like, half of these countries aren't even open to tourists yet. So...
yeah, I mean, we'll see, but, listen, as you said, it's sold out, but no fretting here. If there is the option to join the wait list, which you can sign up for by calling 855-996-2442. All I'm going to say is if anybody's considering joining that wait list or taking this vacation, please check out the Disney Coast to Coast Patreon. Really would appreciate you over there. That'd be great. But, I mean, this was... It almost felt like a joke. It's like, that's a typo, right? Like, that's an insane amount of money. And I don't know what it would cost to do this on your own. And granted, like, it is a private jet and stuff. But, like, that doesn't even excite me. That's an ego thing right there. Like, the excitement is going to the Disney parks around the world, and you can do that so much cheaper. So, I don't know.
If you were going to ball out and do all of the things that they're going to do with all the meals, maybe 100,000 isn't that much over asking, but it's when you package it that way. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
$100,000.
I'm sure it's going to be less than 100,000. But with the private jet, I mean, that's probably the priciest part.
Yeah, I would assume so. But I don't like private jets. They freak me out, to be completely honest.
Well, this is a 757, though.
Yeah, I have a theory when it comes to planes, and I know this is completely irrational, but the more people that are on the plane, the less likely it'll crash. Because if it crashes and kills everybody, that means everybody on that plane was supposed to die, right? So, like, just mathematically...
Okay, Jeff, you've watched Final Destination too many times.
Actually, I've seen it only once. I'm not a huge fan of that franchise. But yeah, that's so my head... And whenever I see infants on a plane, I'm like, ugh, they're going to cry. But then I'm like, if they're supposed to die, that's a pretty evil god we got there. So, this is
the weirdest theory I've ever heard.
There's a Disney podcast. Now there's a celebrity athlete. I forget who it is, but he listens to Britney Spears when he's on airplanes because he doesn't believe that he's supposed to die listening to Britney Spears.
All right.
Yeah, so, it's I just had one of the worst flights of my life not too long ago. Talk about turbulent. Holy crap. It was the praise Jesus sort of flight. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of private jets. Whenever they crash, it's always like, oh, there were 10 people on board. I'm like, oh, God.
Because it was a smaller plane.
Yeah. Kyle, you're not going to convince me. I don't like the idea of a private jet, okay? So there's that. That's exciting news, I guess. It's wild. I mean, listen, this is the new Disney, right? Like, this is what they're going to invest in. These higher class, wealthy excursions. It seems like that's where their focus is. This is not new news. We thought that Galactic Star Cruiser was expensive. Well, they're like, nope. That was just a little test we got there. And who knows? Next, maybe Joe Rohde will be back at Disney sending people to space. Who knows?
There you go.
It's wild. Anything else you want to add about that?
No.
Alrighty. Well, Disney had planned to move 2,000 high-paying jobs from Glendale, California to Lake Nona, Florida by December 2022. Of course, we all know this. We've talked a lot about it. But that goal has now been pushed back to 2026. This is insane because so many people quit over this move. And now they're just like, yeah, it's not happening. Not now.
Yeah, maybe those people probably jumped the gun because I know some people.
Those people didn't jump the gun. The company jumped the gun. Like they were given an ultimatum. They were
okay.
Yeah,
I don't know when it was, but I figured you could quit whenever.
No, they were told like you need to decide by such and such a date whether or not you're going to move, and the date came and went, and a lot of people quit. And God, man, they have shot themselves in the foot so badly here. It's kind of crazy to me. Disney spokeswoman Jackie Waller said Wednesday the expected opening date for the Lake Nona campus was pushed to 2026 to, quote, give people more time and accommodate the construction timeline for the new offices. I mean, that's BS. They knew what the construction timeline was. There's no way that they were 4 years off. Yeah. This is a Disney and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis thing, I'm sure. And, they just shouldn't move. That's what it comes down to. In my opinion, don't move at this point. Like, it's pretty horrible, but yeah, this disrupted a lot of lives, and it's crazy to me that this happened.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do exactly. It's very random. I don't know about random to choose 2026, but yeah, it's like, oh yeah, the building's going to take 4 years longer than we anticipated. It's like, that doesn't make any sense unless it's much, much, much larger. You're building another theme park there instead.
Yeah, and they, the reason they were moving in the first place is tax breaks, of course. Supposedly, the tax breaks would total over $750 million. So, there's that, but then there's also the whole Florida Disney situation, which is not good. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but when I read this, I was just like, wow, it's really sad for all those people that, like, left the company and really ultimately didn't need to. And bad for Disney as far as like finding talent. I don't know. This is jerking people's lives around, it kind of feels like. But hey, that's what happened. Shall we talk about some of the most exciting news of the week? Your favorite attraction at Disneyland?
My favorite attraction. Yeah, sure.
Because Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage at Disneyland will officially reopen to guests on July 25th. This follows a lengthy refurbishment, not to mention a pandemic closure, which saw the attraction's lagoon completely drained and then refilled. Say what you want about the actual attraction, but it is beautiful to walk by, and it's been a bummer having those construction walls up. So, like, I'm excited about... I mean, I love water. I'm, like, obsessed with water. Put me near water, I'm a happy person. So, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful lagoon in the park.
Yeah, that's fair. But this is actually my least favorite attraction in the park, if not probably the resort. I don't think I've been on every single attraction, but I just don't care for it.
This one's worse than Golden Zephyr for you?
I mean, Golden Zephyr, I can enjoy, and it's only a couple minutes long, and I don't feel like I'm scrunched in it.
I was going to say, is it a claustrophobia thing for you, or?
I kind of, and I'm not even like claustrophobic. It's not very well designed in that aspect, and I don't think it's not worth it to me to suffer through it, you know?
I gotcha.
I prefer the ADA room, actually. I've done that a couple times.
Oh, there you go. All right, during the downtime, Imagineers added more coral, new paint, fresh kelp, and seaweed, while also including enhanced special effects and lighting. Also new is the addition of Hank the Septopus from Finding Dory. So, little updates, which is good. I mean, if something's down that long, you would hope that things are refurbed and updated. It was a big... They kept saying it was going to come back, so they didn't lie. I know fans were like, I don't know if it's coming back. And let's face it is a pandemic nightmare attraction as far as, there's zero... there's no social distancing on Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, that's for sure.
And it's enclosed.
So there's that's happening. Some plans that, were canceled, sadly. Disney has confirmed that they have canceled plans for a Bright Line train station at Disney Springs. This is huge news.
It's huge news, except that I think we called it as soon as they announced it. And I don't know if anyone actually thought this was going to happen.
Well, it was kind of used as an excuse to get rid of Magical Express, was it not? Or was that like a fan thing?
That's what somebody else just said, and I don't remember them. I know that they said there was a different options, like transit options, and maybe they did cite the train, but I figured they just meant Uber and Lyft. Like that was the reason. But
it may not have been Disney.
Look it up while you're talking.
I don't know if it was Disney who said it necessarily, but it was definitely like things the fans and reporters were saying was, hey, Magical Express is going away, but that train's coming in a couple of years. Basically, they're saying a new route configuration does not support a Disney Springs station. According to Disney spokesperson Avery Maurer, excuse me if I butchered that name, the station would have connected Walt Disney World to the Orlando International Airport. So, yeah, I mean... It was one of those things where it was kind of impractical. If people were like, oh, well, this is the way to get to the resort from the airport, it would have meant taking the train to Disney Springs and then transferring to a bus from there with your luggage. Like, it would not have been a good start to your vacation, which is why Disney's Magical Express should have never gone away. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I never kind of accepted that as a replacement for Magical Express.
No, I never thought of it as a replacement either. Like, I could see myself using it, but I wouldn't necessarily see families using it because of the reasons you just said. But also, from as we said, I never took the Magical Express, but also, in theory, wouldn't have been a fan. So
yeah, so that's not happening. I wonder if it was like another state of Florida saying, no, we're going to reroute it just to screw you, Disney, sort of thing.
It was before all that, but it was the original route did have people angry about it, so that's why it got moved. And then obviously they're not going to build a little extra switch to connect it.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Well, I just looked it up, and actually Disney did mention, due to, I don't know if this is a quote, but this is what we have, due to the increase in rideshare options, along with the construction of a high-speed rail station coming soon to Walt Disney World Resort. So yeah, they actually did cite that as part of the reason not one of the reasons, but they cited that when announcing that Magical Express was ending. So once again, I am wrong. That's twice in one podcast. Keep track.
Jeez, why do I have you on here, Kyle?
That's what I was about to say.
Anyway, before we move on to some holiday news, I want to take a minute to thank the current members of the DCTC community over on Patreon. It's because of these supporters that I'm able to continue producing free episodes of the podcast for you. So thank you to Taylor M, Erica P, Jeremy B, Robert S, Sarah H, Skylar S, Jeanette M, Leah C, Faith C, Bonnie B, Jeffrey R, Gerardo F, Jared B, Rio N, Philip E, Anna L, Diego P, and Monet P. Thank you all so much for your support. If you'd like to join these fine folks and help me produce more episodes, click on the Patreon link in this episode's description to discover all of the bonuses waiting for you. Plus, anyone who joins this month, June of 2022, I'll be matching 100% of your first month subscription and donating it to the Trevor Project in honor of Pride Month. Now, Let's get to some halfway to the holidays news, shall we?
Woo.
Wow, I got a fist in the air from Kyle Burbank with that one.
Yeah. It used to be called Christmas in July. I guess they're like, no, we're doing this halfway thing.
But here's the thing. It's not halfway. Halfway is June.
Right.
Oh, actually, so they did do it halfway. Okay. You know how
So
a lot
they
of
did
people...
it better.
Okay,
but I'm just
yes,
saying.
no, they did it right. Actually, most people... You'll notice on social media July 25th, a lot of people post Christmas stuff. Like, but that's only 5 months till Christmas, not 6. So June 25th is when people should be doing it.
Yeah, I think people just I think July is associated with being hotter than June, so people just like, haha, Santa in the sand because it's hot.
Well,
And
they're
it's like,
wrong. They are
they're
wrong. Disney got it right halfway to the holidays.
Their calculation of halfway to Halloween's a little bit more nebulous, but this one they announced all the stuff on the 23rd. Credit. It worked out from not doing it on the 24th this year.
Yeah. Oh, God. Halfway to Halloween is a tough one because because there is no April 31st, right? So you can do either April 30th or May 1st. That's the halfway to Halloween sweet spot. But yeah, they're pretty loose about that. Usually a week before, a week after, whatever. But halfway to holidays, here we go. There's a ton of info, so I'm just going to go through a bunch of it. The popular Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is returning this holiday season. Cheers.
Just hear the sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too.
Oh, God. We get a musical performance. These hard ticket events will take place on 24 select nights between November 8th and December 22nd. Tickets for 2022's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party will go on sale for guests of select Walt Disney World Resort hotels starting on June 30th, followed by public on sale starting July 7th. Prices will range from $149 to $199 per person. So those are not getting any lower. This, of course, will include Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration, Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Time Fireworks, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade, a Totally Tomorrowland Christmas Dance Party, Disney Junior Jingle Jam Dance Party, and, tons of entertainment. Partygoers can indulge in complimentary cookies and hot cocoa at locations throughout Magic Kingdom. So, of course, the challenge is eating $200 worth of cookies. And the world-famous Jungle Cruise will once again transform into the Jingle Cruise. Space Mountain, Tomorrowland Speedway, Monsters, Inc., Laugh Floor, and Mad Tea Party will all receive a special party-exclusive holiday makeover. And in honor of the 50th anniversary celebration, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party attendees will discover 3 jolly new photo opportunities. Guests will also receive a special 50th anniversary commemorative keepsake themed for the holidays. Are you excited, Kyle? Are you going?
I probably not. I went to, as you'll recall, I did go to the after hours last year and it was fun. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to go to a Christmas party, so that kind of fulfilled that itch I had. I would do it if I happen to be in town. Like, I would do this instead of a park day. But yeah, I mean, for at $150, you might as well do a park day if that's your prerogative.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's back. I mean, it's good that it's back. I talked about this with Halloween. I genuinely thought, considering how well the smaller parties did, that the days of these grandiose parties were going to go the way of 24-hour days. It's like, what are those that you speak of? What do you think they would charge for a 24-hour day now? Because it wouldn't just be standard park admission. It would be a special ticketed event. What do you think they would charge?
What's a one day? Is this a park hopper? This is probably locked into one park, right?
For Walt Disney World, yeah. For Disneyland, probably not. Probably a park hopper. I'm saying they could charge $500 for a 24-hour day and it'd sell out.
Yeah, I would say 300 was where they would go, but yeah, I think they could charge 500.
We'll see if those ever come back. God, those were the days, weren't they? Man,
I don't think I ever did a full one. I was there for Rock Your Disney side as covering part of the thing, but I didn't actually. I never tried to stay 24 hours, that's for sure. I
did once, and it was wild. I mean, it's exhausting, but it's thrilling. And, well, here's the thing. If it were just a normal day, I probably wouldn't do it. It was the 60th anniversary. It wasn't the actual 60th anniversary, but it was the start of that celebration, which was the premiere of Paint the Night and World of Color Celebrate and Disneyland Forever Fireworks. So it was a lot of new, exciting stuff to check out, which is a huge part of the reason why I did it. But It was wild. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Christmas. Let's move on to some surprising but also not surprising news. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot will have a special mashup of seasonal jams to ride along with. Should have seen this coming. Why didn't I see this coming, Kyle?
I don't know if you... I would say, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you didn't see it coming in its first year of operation. It seems like a later game strategy.
The reason I should have seen it coming is because they did this with Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Didn't Monsters After Dark come in its first year?
I think so.
Yeah, so I should have seen it coming. I'm disappointed in myself.
And there's a holiday special on Disney Plus this winter as well. So
yeah,
you really should have, Jeffrey.
I should have seen it coming. Failure on my part. Question
but what are
you.
Do you have thoughts on songs? Because I know there's some leaders in the clubhouse.
Do you know there's what?
Leaders in the club. It's another baseball thing. There's ones that people are thinking are quite possible, like Last Christmas.
Why are you making baseball references with me?
It's just a figure of speech.
Leaders in the clubhouse. Never heard it.
Leader in the clubhouse.
I'll tell you now that I understand what you're asking me, I will say that one thing did come to mind, and that is the fact that the New Kids on the Block Merry Merry Christmas album came out in 1989. So that was my first thought of obviously I would love NSYNC, but that was, early 2000s. I think a New Kids on the Block Christmas would be great. I would love that for Cosmic Rewind. Do you have any leaders in the clubhouse yourself, Kyle?
I mean, like I said, I think Last Christmas would be really good. They do kind of
I do love Last Christmas so much.
So I wonder if it will be like several different clips of songs. I do kind of imagine that they'll just do one track like Monsters After Dark. Instead of randomizing it, it'll just be one for the holiday overlay instead of doing like another 4 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I think it'll probably be some sort of medley. Ideally, I think it'd be cool if, like Monsters After Dark again, if there was actually like a Xandarian Christmas song, an original, and maybe even tied into the Christmas special. But obviously I don't know what that Christmas special is going to be, so I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they say guests will blast off to the tune of an awesome holiday single, bringing joy to Xandar and Terra too. So yeah, they don't get very specific at all, but yeah, I think it'll be cool. My question for you is, say you were visiting for the first time, and let's face it, a lot of people will be experiencing this for the first time during this holiday overlay. Would that bum you out, or would you be like, that's cool? That like this is your first experience?
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I do know that there's people, Mike Celestino was actually just talking about this today, how he has friends that always go around the holidays and haven't been on the regular Haunted Mansion in years as a result.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could see that being an issue, but for something like this, I think it's still, you're getting the basic ride. Maybe, well, actually, I guess that's not true. We don't know if it's just music or if they'll change the story at all. But overall, I think it's a good thing. I think people will deal. I think they have to see the exclusivity of it as being a benefit.
I will say for a very, very, very long time, I did not see Cinderella Castle without the icicle lights hanging from it, because I was always coming in October for Halloween, and yeah, I'd only ever seen the castle for years covered in those lights, of course unlit. So I do get it. It's kind of annoying, to be honest.
The first Disney trip I remember was the Birthday Cake Castle. So
well, I'm sorry for that, but also kind of epic that you got to experience that, right?
I liked it, and I still kind of...
Well, you were a kid, I assume, right?
No, I liked it as an adult, but yes, I liked it as a kid as well.
I will say I talk a lot of crap about it, but I was recently, I think it was the last time I was in Orlando, I was hanging with our friends Aaron and Ruben. Shout out, Aaron and Ruben. And we're at some little store, I think in Kissimmee. Ooh. And... And, it was all like Disney collectibles and stuff. And I found some sort of cast member magazine of yesteryear. And one of them was celebrating the 25th anniversary. And it had the castle cake on the cover of the magazine. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy that. I was like, this is Disney history. I'm going to buy this. And so I own it, and it sits on a bookshelf. But yeah, so I appreciate its historic significance at this point, I will say.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's happening. It's kind of a cool holiday announcement, I would say. I like it. But let's move on, because elsewhere at Walt Disney World, holiday-themed displays will be part of Beacons of Magic. So this is another new thing that's going to be happening. They're going to be I mean, they've kind of done it in the past on, the Hollywood Tower Hotel and stuff, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with Spaceship Earth for that, and then the other projection stuff. Should be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, especially the Epcot one, they've been switching that one out a lot, so it doesn't seem that special.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, guess who's coming to the resort?
What resort?
Walt Disney World Resort for the holidays.
I should know this since I wrote the article.
Santa Claus!
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Checks out.
Santa Claus will be making appearances throughout the resort, including cruising down Hollywood Boulevard in his candy apple red convertible at Disney's Hollywood Studios during the Santa Claus Merry Motorcade. Gotta be honest, I'm not familiar with this.
It's a motorcade where Santa drives down the street in a candy apple red Corvette or whatever it just said.
That car doesn't have horsepower. You know what it has?
Reindeer power?
But we're two dads sitting here talking.
Two dads without children or pets.
Yeah, it's pathetic. Anyway, also he'll be voyaging across the Discovery River as part of a festive flotilla at Disney's Animal Kingdom. At Magic Kingdom Park and at Disney Springs, he'll be there, or guests may have individual time to take photos and share their Christmas wishes. And also joining storytellers from around the world as part of the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays beginning November 25th. Now, were the storytellers back last year?
I
don't think they were.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Not even familiar with the storytellers. I hear people talk about them. Don't think I've ever seen them.
You should listen to an episode of Disney Coast to Coast I did with Aaron Wallace, all about the storytellers of Epcot around the holidays, because it's a really cool tradition. And I think, I could be wrong, I think this is the return of them since pre-pandemic. So that's kind of cool. Also coming back, the Merry Menagerie featuring life-size artisan sculpted puppets at Disney's Animal Kingdom. A finale featuring Olaf at, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration at Disney's Hollywood Studios. A magical snowfall in Town Center at Disney Springs. And the Candlelight Processional at Epcot International Festival of the Holidays beginning November 25th. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of it's returning stuff, but some new stuff and the holidays. We're getting ready for Walt Disney World. It's weird talking about the holidays when it's so flippin' hot outside.
We'll get there.
All right.
I'm sure it'll happen.
Let's head over to Disneyland Park. We've got Believe in Holiday Magic fireworks returning. Next door at Disney California Adventure, World of Color Season of Light will return. And this is the first time that the show's being performed since 2019 because, of course, the pandemic shut it down in 2020. And they were doing a refurb on World of Color in 2021. So I'm sure that's highly anticipated. And the Gingerbread House is coming back to Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa. Let's fly over to Hong Kong Disneyland. And a Disney Christmas is set to return to the Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. Included will be an all-new display with Duffy and Friends, yay, as they welcome guests to their all-new snow-filled paradise, Duffy and Friends Winter Wonderland, located at Fantasy Garden. Processionals are, of course, part of the festivities with a holiday gift of cheer with Duffy and Friends and Mickey and Friends Christmas Time Ball. Man, they love Duffy over there, huh?
Yeah. Well, they love Duffy and they love Duffy's friends, which are undoubtedly better than Duffy himself.
That's like when a sitcom is built around like a specific actor and then like somebody, I'm thinking like Family Ties here, where it was supposed to be about the parents and like Michael J. Fox became the breakout star. And, like Duffy is the parents of Family Ties.
Yeah, it's like Ross is like the focus of Friends. And you're like, well, nobody's favorite character is Ross.
I've never seen a full episode. Sorry. Don't at me. So there's going to be a stage show called Santa Goofy's Magical Snowfall. And to top off the night, catch the spectacular A Holiday Wish Come True tree lighting ceremony. Let's fly over to Disneyland Paris, where Mickey's dazzling Christmas parade will return. Of course, the whole event is called Disney Enchanted Christmas. At Videopolis, I'm still jealous they have a Videopolis. In Discoveryland, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy will carol along to holiday favorites in the musical show Let's Sing Christmas. And then at the Tokyo Disney Resort, Disney Christmas will be returning, but no further details at this point. And no news on Shanghai. Wah, wah.
It's getting closer. Right after you locked last week's show, or last time's show, they announced that they were reopening Disney Town and one of the hotels, I think.
Yeah.
But still waiting on the theme park.
Yes, we're waiting on that. But yeah, that's a lot of Christmas. It's all coming. And are you ready? I am not. I'm not. Still, my head's in Halloween. Let's face it.
Oh, I don't care about Halloween, but
whoa, take that statement back, please. Man, even if you're a scaredy cat, you can still embrace the pumpkin goodness.
Fall's my favorite season.
So,
but
hello?
Like Halloween, whatever.
No, I don't accept this. Kyle, please.
What?
You're breaking my heart.
It's a kid's holiday. You're supposed to just get candy.
No, it is not a kid's holiday. You're tearing me apart. Oh, God.
What are you, Tommy Wiseau?
I was James Deaning it right there.
Oh.
Isn't that from Rebel Without a Cause, I think?
Maybe. It sounded more like The Room to me, but...
No, I just didn't want to go full out because I would have hurt the ears of the listeners. But yeah. Anyway, that's the news I got for you. Anything else you want to add about the holidays or anything you're looking most forward to with the holidays?
I guess I'm looking forward to the holiday. I hope I get to go to the park. I would love to go.
You'll probably go to Paris for the holidays.
I don't want to.
Oh, poor Kyle's gone to Paris too many times.
I want to get a puppy, so I want to take care of the puppy, and I can't take the puppy to Paris. So this might be my last Paris for a little bit.
Oh man, what kind of puppy are you gonna get?
Ideally we want a Frenchton, but we're trying to rescue, and so you don't have as much choice. A Frenchton is a French bulldog and a Boston.
All right, well. Good luck with that. It does change your life quite a bit from what I hear. I wanted a dog for the longest time, then I saw a friend get one, and I was like, oh, nope, never want that. Nope, I'm good. That'll stop you from doing a lot of stuff, so.
Yeah, but it'll cuddle with me on the bed.
Oh, I'm sorry your wife doesn't do that for you.
Wow, she does, but we both cuddle the puppy.
Oh, man, we've gone off the deep end. Kyle, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll see you again in a couple weeks with more news. Sound good?
Yeah, I think so. I might be in Paris. I forget how this works, but
we'll figure it out. To read more about any and all of the stories you've heard here today, simply visit the show notes link in this episode's description. You've heard the news, and now I want to hear what you have to say about it. What do you think of the Adventures by Disney vacation around the world? If you had the money, would you consider it? Share your thoughts on that or any other topics mentioned in today's episode. Call 818-860-2569 and you may just hear yourself on a future episode of Disney Coast to Coast. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Don't miss any future episodes by subscribing and following Disney with a Z Coast to Coast on your favorite podcast app. This episode has been executive produced by Robert Scontrino. Gain rewards like Robert, including access to never-before-heard episodes and live stream Q&As by visiting the Patreon link in this episode's description. Basically, anything you need can be found in this episode's description, from additional information and links discussed in this episode found in the show notes, to the DCTC hotline where you can leave a voicemail and be heard on a future episode, access to the show's official website, some free gifts from me to you, and so much more. So be sure to check out this episode's description. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. This podcast is part of the DePodcast Network. Learn more about this show, plus find more quality and entertaining podcasts at DePodcastNetwork.com. That's DEPodcastNetwork.com.